Is it working now? Okay, I don't know why you're working now, but it's alright. It's working with my headset, so that works. I'll take it. Wait, unless you're talking and then I can't hear you for some reason. Oh no, there we go.
We are ready to
Gotcha.
We're good?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm all set. So, but yeah, if we are live, welcome to round 12. Round 12. I think it's 12. Yeah, welcome to round 12 here at Singapore. Of course, it's slightly redesigned Singapore from what we are used to. Of course, with a cutout of a decent chunk of Sector 3, shortening a lot of the lap. Very tight, still a very tight, very cool, very challenging street circuit here in Marina Bay. Of course, welcome as a bunch of you, I'm sure, have been waiting, and others are still just diving in. Of course, as normal, I'm Vacant. Glad to have you in here. And of course, I'm joined once again by James. James, how are you doing?
I am doing it good. It's good to be back again and on the new track this time. Very technical track as well.
Yeah, very technical. Of course, don't know if you have the mini map up, James, but of course, down there in Sector 3, a lot of that technicality has been taken out of the circuit, I believe in real life, due to construction that's happening at circuit on the track. I think it's, from the look of things, it does look like we are going to have some wet weather, at least per the reaction, in the Discord chat, as Joner, I believe, with the reaction indicating wet weather, as Durul, the only car out on track at the moment. So apparently I have echo, so 1 second. So we'll see if that can be fixed. I'm going to try to pull it up. Go to PDXD for letting me know that. I'll look at that. I am echoing.
There. I'm going to see if there is going to be some way of bypass to... We do have some information, Fuel comes into the pit lane for what I suspect is a change of front wing. It's the only thing you get coming from the season. That is kind of ass if that is the only view you get.
Yeah, and some of the onboard looks aren't great, but... Can you hear me, Dad?
Got a Mercedes with a flag of QDX is spun in Sector 1. This is the Aston Martin of Crossplay.
Check.
Hello.
Okay, I think it's just my internet's really bad. Hey, I am here. I think my internet's just really bad, so you're cutting out now and again. Just trying to confirm some stuff. Sorry about this for technical difficulties on my end. I think it's sorted though, which is good. At least from the sound of things. That's nice. As we're looking at, I believe owner is the first on a flying lap with 26.7 in that first sector, so flying very quickly there. The Aston Martin, the winner last time out, over a couple of other drivers. Big surprise, especially as Wingish has had a lot of dominance recently.
They all locked up into that. Coming into the bridge part, they all seem to be locking up in that area. I don't know if that's them wanting to lock up or that's just them having to lock up to slow that little extra down. But here's that really weird, without the chicane, sector 3. It's very fast now. Hopefully some overtaking going to be done. I would love to see a DRS zone in that area in the future.
Yeah, benchmark from owner is going to be a 129.2. So a good starting lap from the Aston Martin. And we'll see who all can go chase that. I think Wingish down there in 8th, and the McLaren would be a decent shout, being able to take that. Because as he's making his way through the lap for sector 3, Thomas B with a 134.0, Jojo with a 130.1, Wingish to the line, that'll be a 127.9, so Wingish right back up to the top of the order. Good showing from him.
Jonah goes P5, and now the Red Bull get his time in down. Kind of crazy. Omni as well, getting his Ferrari up into P5, just behind Onar of that lap time. Tommy in P7.
Derul, meanwhile, showing up purple down there in sector 2, but I think was really twitchy up and over the bridge. Of course, I have to see how this continues. Yeah, making his way through the final couple of corners now. Of course, he is going to hit the wall there on the exit. So got a little bit loose and maybe a little bit low on the wings. It is going to put him 6th fastest, though.
Gonna be only one to be on a lap time at the moment. Sector 2. Don't know what this lap is going to be like, but carry on with the Williams driver. Way the lap came still can
Still pretty, respectable time there. Of course, slotting right in. Definitely a little bit of a lighter lobby this afternoon. But of course, we'll have 31 laps coming of racing. That'll be very interesting. Blue and Jamie on for Alpine.
When I think Jamie just about very lightly. No broken or anything like that. Carry on with him. Helpful sector 2 again for him.
Of course, got the now long blast down towards. I got to relearn this corner number now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure exactly what that is, as we do get driver number 16 and Viper is joining up. So good to see him come. And Jamie comes to the line that lap to be good enough for P8. So a solid showing there from one of the 2 Alpine today.
Both Alpines got some work to do, and a few people have some work to do. It's Jojo hitting the wall on the exit of the pit lane, so just having a little bit of a kiss with that part of the track at the moment.
This car looked to be okay, though. It doesn't look to be any damage on the front wing of that Alpine. So he should still be able to get a lap in. He's just kind of passing by there. But yeah, a lot of drivers starting their second out laps. I believe, I think there was somebody on, I think Tommy XXC is the exception to that, but he invalidated earlier in that lap, so he will not improve, at least for the moment. He's going to
to be coming in this lap, so the next person on a lap will be Jay. No, not Jay. Oh no, it would be Jay, because...
No, I believe. No, I believe that's one of the Aston Martins. It's owner Conquery, who'll be the next setup, or not. As I say that, he does go there through that DRS zone immediately after that bridge section. Just locks up and goes straight into that wall and has missed that left front wing end plate. So that lap is not going to matter, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a fair amount of front wing changes happen in the race, as Singapore is still very, very technical, even with a bunch of the track cut out.
Yeah, as Jay now starts his first flying lap, which is kind of a late one for the Williams driver, but nevertheless, we will see what he can do, as he's just getting a little twitchy out of turn 3. I think he just kissed the wall
Again,
there.
down. Yeah, got really close out there to the wall at turn 4, trying to get on the power. That is his teammate up ahead, as he sets a 26.9 sector 1, so about a 10 down, at least on Vasil, through that first sector. His time, I think, has gone up. Has his time gone up? Or have we lost time? I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, Jay making his way through sector 2. Of course, the old Singapore sling, a couple of kills to go, and up over the bridge now. Of course, got the slowest corner probably on our calendar this season. Out of the bridge, and DRS going to be wide open as he gets out of there.
Very long part of the sector. I think this is a lot easier on the drivers, so they don't have to worry too much, but they do have to worry about this chicane and the wall. Come close to the
I was going to keep it out of there.
The 11 for the Williams driver.
So 130.1. A lot of drivers probably running slightly compromised setups as well, considering that there are going to be, we are looking at potentially intermediate conditions to start the race. Yellow flag in sector 2. That's right at the bridge section. That's one of the McLarens. That's QDXC. Who I think went hard into the wall, as he's missing left front end plate. So he'll probably be diving into the pit lane here. Yeah, just with a mistake back there at the bridge section. Just kind of looking through, see if anybody is up on a lap. Oga's through 2 sectors. Is up about a 1/10.5 coming through the final corner net to the line. It's an improvement, but still only good enough for P3. Vasil, meanwhile, is down on his in-lap. Did improve to a 128.5. Oni is down. Derul, meanwhile, 3.5 tenths up through 2 sectors. He's making his way through sector 3 now as Moikuli goes 4th fastest. Just come up to the chicane, and this final left-hander, again, is really close out to the wall on right there, and then attacks that curve to the inside to the line. And that lap time good enough for P4, so Derul jumping right up the order with a 128.8.
Vipri's next person to cross the line, coming up to the final 2 corners now, and his lap time will be a 130.4.
130.4.
P15, he's got a lot of work to do, and I do wonder if he's got just that little bit more fuel on board.
Potentially does. As well, might have made a mistake earlier in that lap with it being his first of the session. Joner making his way through the final couple of corners now that Alpine, that is out of fuel, gets out of the way, and Joner actually also going to dive in pit lane, so I think everybody just getting set for their final laps of this session. We just crossed the 4-minute barrier left to go in qualifying.
Owners 4,000 on his lap time. Not a great of a picture. There we go. Thank you, game. But coming up to the final sector now, he's 5 tenths up on his lap time.
Yeah, five, almost 6 tenths. So that'll put him that puts him definitely up with his teammate of Oga's there in the one, would split Basil and Oga's as it stands. Of course, Aston Martin and Alpine both with very good races last time out at Abu Dhabi. And owner to the line, it's going to be a 28.591, so he is going to split both his teammate and Basil. Is going to be 600ths down on that front row starting spot, but still a good showing there from the Aston Martin, who's going to have to really hustle if he wants to get one more lap in.
Tommy hasn't validated his lap. He's going to have to push like hell if he wants to get back to the pits and out on track, because it is a 120 minute lap time, so...
As Jay actually retiring from the session. So Jay not thinking he's going to improve on his lap, so he's going to be starting no better than 14th. Of course, you need probably about, you need to probably go out with about 2 minutes left if you want to try to get an extra lap in. It does look like Tommy XXC may have enough fuel in that McLaren to get another lap in, so may just be able to take a second recon lap here, but should be underway shortly.
I see, as everybody else is now coming out for their final laps, so maybe Tommy might be in a little bit of trouble with all this traffic going to be ahead of him.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a headache because he's actually going to start his lap now, so we'll have to keep an eye on what happens there.
I think the Aston Martin does come on in, so Tommy passes 2 people as Onar retires from second and doesn't think he can go quicker. Oh wait, no, he doesn't have time.
I think... no, he retired in the pit lane. I don't think he was going to be able to get out and get another lap set. Of course, everybody that's coming out of the pit lane now was still going to have to really hustle as Tommy XC across the first sector, up about 1/10 of a second. So good opening, but he is coming up the traffic now.
Yeah, Tower, you're getting out of the way, and Tommy pushing it like a madman. He's really pushing it, wanting this lap to be good.
Yeah, of course, up and over the bridge now, getting really close to the wall on the right-hand side. And, again, really cutting it close with some of these walls. Gonna, get up through the gears and with DRS wide open as it comes to the end of Sector 2, and he's up 6, almost 7/10. So a lot of improvement so far for the second McLaren driver. Seemed to catch it nicely. Is going to improve by about 3/4 of a second and jump up into P7 for the moment, but a bunch of drivers just starting their laps and still with time to improve. Number of drivers with chances, including QDXC, who's up about 9/10 to come into the line for Mercedes. He'll cross the line to go 5th fastest.
Wingish, I think he's 2 temps up on his lap time. I did see that right.
Jonah, meanwhile, is coming up to sector, be the next across the line, but he's actually down about 1/10 on his lap time. And then it's Vasil, meanwhile, 4/10 up. So Vasil being is very rapid at the moment and is trying to chase after that pole position. Of course, just about 3 corners left to go with the chicane, as that is qualifying over. So this will be the last laps for everybody. Jonah to the line, he doesn't improve from 13th. Gurnham, meanwhile, jumps up into P4. Where can Vasil go? Vasil not just barely not able to steal provisional pole position, even if Wingish is up, but 1,000th in it, and Wingish with a big slide. Thomas D with a 5-second penalty for a collision with KXC. Wingish is going to improve that time, so he's up 1.5 seconds. So Wingish able to secure pole position even more. Ogas has invalidated. He will not improve. QDXC is down. Derul to the line. He'll jump QDXC to get into 6th. Moikuli's invalidated. Oni to the line. He's up 3/10. Into the final corner. He will gain 3/10. He'll start P8. And I believe that's it for everybody improving, as Goon Jamie in 12th, Jonah in 14th, and then Thomas D will start at the tail of the field.
Yeah, very interesting.
Oh, crap, I might stop working again.
End
Oh boy.
to that.
Check. Four.
Whilst we wait for Thomas D to finish hitting. Oh, he just had a type popping up. No, it's qualifying. So they have it. Wingish back on top again. For what number is this now?
A lot, I think, is the correct answer, but much tighter than we've seen it over the past couple of races. Basil close behind in P2, and there's a big gap to a lot of the rest of the field. Owner will start third, followed by Gurnham, Ogas, Durrell, TBC, Oni, Mike Cool, and Tommy Ipsy rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, it should be quite an exciting race, especially if there is rain inbound or it is a starting as a wet race. Okay, so it will start as a wet race. That is interesting. Doesn't seem to be absolutely pouring it down, but
In
it is.
intermediate conditions, which will be, a very interesting start. Apologies, I'm just trying to figure out my mic change. If you want to take over real quick.
Yep. As we wait for everybody to pick their setups and fuel and all that stuff, I don't think they'll be worrying much about fuel. They will have plenty of time to regain that in the wet conditions here. I do wonder how much longer this wet race will carry on. But anyway, I think we are ready to upgrade. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And away we go. Gonna get to jump start, so he's gonna get a drive-through penalty. A few people already making up a few places at the back, but Wingish ahead into turn 1 of the Aston Martin of Onol, trying to look for a move on Vasil, but just get it happen. I don't think there's contact between the Ferrari and Dural in the background there, but Dural getting off worse by the looks of it. He's losing more places to everybody else as Mercedes and Ferrari going side by side into this corner. There's contact with multiple contact. The car's jumping all over the place before my screen. Nice. As McLaren goes very deep into that corner. But as Omni gets a really bad exit out of that corner and does almost, as his teammate, I don't even know what's going on here most of the time.
Alright, I think I figured out my mic.
Joel and Moix having a fight here. Joel trying to do the switchback. It's worked nicely, but not nice enough. I think that's Omnij and the Mercedes fighting again. Joel trying to make a round.
A little bit of contact, and that's the AlphaTauri in the wall.
He doesn't seem to have damage, but he seems to be okay for now. But I do wonder. Oh, the Mercedes having a huge slide out of the last few corners there. Don't think it's hit the wall or anything.
2DXC.
Is gonna pit for his drive-through penalty. As Moix trying to make a move down the inside on turn 1. Just pushing the Mercedes off the track. This is going 3 wide almost for the next corner. This is a great picture for Juro as Mercedes having a little bit of contact with Ferrari in front. Juro having the better exit of Mercedes, but that Mercedes just gonna stay ahead into the next corner.
Wait. Alright, I'm back now.
You're back? Oh.
Back. Yep, I'm back fully now. So, sorry, don't know what happened there, but yeah, lap number 2, and it's already a bit of a getaway for that front 4. But a bunch of drivers crashing a bit in the order is Derul going around the outside of QDXC. He's also going to join Jamie, also trying to follow him through, but QDXC able to defend.
Both Alpine drivers are there, but as Jamie gets very close to the Mercedes just then, and I think his teammate also getting very close to him. Team orders may come and play at some point, because I would assume because these two are fighting it like.
Yeah, Alpine is currently sitting second in the second in the constructors championship rather, behind McLaren right now. Of course, being led by Wingish, and also Tommy XXC still contributing a solid chunk of points. But yeah, Alpine going to be looking to have a good day today to try and keep it in it. But yeah, they're currently 10th and 11th, trying to find a way around the Mercedes, but just haven't quite been able to find a way through as of yet. So I'd imagine they're going to keep brawling here. But yeah, a bit of a getaway between, the pack already starting to spread out a little bit. It's a 1.2 second gap up front between Wingish and Vazel. And then,
Mercedes
of course, the
just
Aston
spun it
Martin's
out.
3-4.
Yeah, Mercedes hitting the wall, and I think he's just hit it again. No damage, surprisingly, after that hit to the wall.
Or at least doesn't seem to be major damage, especially if turn 4 being a little bit mid-speed. Of course, that Mercedes coming by now. No, it just seems to have been hit on, potentially just wheels into the wall. But yeah, QDXC down into P15 now. Of course, the intermediate conditions always going to be a struggle around a really technical circuit like this, and potentially some tire temp concerns there as well. Still struggling a little bit to find the grip there is the Mercedes, but that does put both Alpines up into the points.
Yeah, this also lets them run away, and we have a safety car.
Safety car.
As the Mercedes.
That's for the Mercedes going deep again. That's for the Mercedes going deep down there just out of the old Singapore sling. And that is actually going to be QDXC retiring from the session. I think just really struggled there. But yeah, went deep down at right out of the corner after the old Singapore sling, right before the bridge. The Mercedes just went super deep there, and is going to retire from the race. That is going to bring out the safety car here on lap number 3.
Lap number 4. Now this rain, I do wonder how much longer this rain is going to be. Joel comes into the pit. Let's see if he does change for a front wing, because somebody is going
there's a
on
set of mediums.
mediums.
Set of mediums for Alpine.
Is this right?
That
still
is
raining.
Yeah, it still looks very wet. So we'll have to see. Jojo making a big gamble here for mediums.
So Joel going on to the inters, but Jojo, this is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, he's going to tiptoe out of the pit lane here. I think probably stay on board with him, because that track still looks very slick. It's not raining.
It's not raining. This may just be the best call of his life, because the safety car is like 2 laps. What happened to Joel? He is going very slow.
I think potentially just taking his time. We got no rain, so this could be a great call for Jojo and Alpine. It just depends on just how quickly the track starts to dry up.
Do we now see more people coming into the pit lane? And this might be a problem for the Aston Martins, because they are so close together, and the Ferraris and the Williams. So
yeah, all teams are pretty tight now, especially with the safety car. I think Aston Martin, Ferrari, Haas, and Williams
definitely going to be at the biggest losses if that does happen.
You look at
But
that
also,
track,
it's a question.
and that track is not wet enough for his inters. That track doesn't
And
look
here comes
as wet.
here they come.
Yep.
Here they come into the pits. It's the I think it's everybody diving in.
That is everybody. Everybody is coming into the pits. So, has JoJo made one of the greatest options to pit? Will Wingish have to wait behind everybody? No. Stays
Potentially,
ahead.
JoJo is gonna have to hustle as Duel with a drive-through for speeding under safety car. He got that pit lane entry, still trying to catch up. So he gets that drive-through as he tries to get off of those inters.
They are
Where is
now.
JoJo gonna come out?
No,
He's gonna hustle his way, but he's gonna get up to. He's also gonna get a drive-through. He didn't quite get caught up, and he's gonna retire from the race as well. So I think a rage quit there from the second Alpine is gonna knock him right in the order. So we're already down to 14 drivers.
That is a shame for the Williams driver. That was a great call for him. He was gonna be like P5, P6 anyway, even if he didn't give a penalty. But I think everybody would get a penalty at some point in this race, and this race is known for being chaotic with crashes. So
yeah, still plenty of racing left to go. So it is still Wingish leading the way. Balloon Jamie went big winner there. He's up to P5 now. Jonah as well got a nice little jump. Moy Cooley did drop down to P10. Gurnham also was well back in the fight. He's down there in 13th. Both McLarens with decent stops. They're 1st and 7th still. But yeah, good showings there. The Aston Martins split up a little bit now. They're 3rd and 6th. But I think, everybody else is getting out all right. And this track is going to continue to dry out.
So there's a few people on softs
in this lap.
Vasil, Onar, Ogs and Jonah all on the soft compound tyres. As everybody else on the mediums as Wingish starts to hold everybody back. When will he go?
Yes. So of course still has some time, still keeping a decent pace. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see here. How late does he look to pull the trigger? Decent gap to the cars behind. The Ferrari is well back. They look to get some momentum. And we are now back underway here on lap number 5. And so it's Wingish leading the way.
Both of them looking for a move down the inside as Vaser gets a 3-second time penalty somehow, but anyway, that Red Bull looking to want to make that move early on as those soft tyres come into range now. It's very close to the wall. Here he goes. Overtake on, just able to do it this lap. Yeah,
is going to hold back there, but is going to be, be in a spot to keep the pressure on Wingish, especially as he tries to get those soft tires up to temperature. It should be much quicker and much easier than that McLaren out in front of him.
It should be with those soft compound tires and that overtake energy button, but you've also got the factor of DRS that will come out and into play in 2 more laps time.
I think Ogers as well getting moved on Jamie down the inside of the bridge, so from the Aston Martin to get him an extra place and make use of those soft compound tires. Yeah, that gap from Diesel up to Wingish currently sitting at about half a second. So, and then Owner as well, right in that range as well to potentially put a fight. Put some fight to McLaren. His virtual safety car. Yeah, I believe that is for the Alpha Tauri.
Losing his front wing.
Has completely lost his front wing. Of course, he was already, a fair ways behind as he had to serve that drive-through penalty that got for speeding under safety car. And so that's, take day from bad to worse.
but it is going to tighten the field up just a little bit and allow Vasil, owner, to try and extend those tires for a little bit longer.
Joel gets a 3-second time penalty for,
I think he's going to probably retire from the race here.
Corner cutting, and then he got a second one for speeding.
Yeah, he is going to retire from the race there. Yep.
Shame,
Yeah,
3 people already out.
Yeah, so, and, less due to, I think QDXC was the only one that would have been considerably due to collision by a crash. Yeah, should be getting underway here in the next couple of seconds. We're expecting them to go green very soon.
This VSC.
Going to pull that gap right up there as we do go back to green flag conditions. And Vasil with a pretty good jump there, and able to keep Wingish from getting too far away. As a gap from him up to Wingish, as well as the owner stays at about 0.4 of a second here on lap number 7. And of course, DRS is just about to be enabled.
Yeah, DRS should be enabled either this next lap or on lap 9.
I believe it
DRS
should
now.
be now.
Yeah. So DRS is now enabled for the Red Bull driver, so we'll see what he can do now with those soft tyres. As DRS wide open, he's going to have a look down the inside. He just can't make it yet. He's not close enough for that move into that corner, just into turn 5, I believe? Turn 6. Red Bull still within 3 tenths at the moment. This might get very close. The whole race.
Check. There we go.
You are back now.
Yep. Yeah, apologies about that. Don't know what the tech issues are going on, but yeah, DRS now enabled, so that is going to Vasil that extra little bit of power to potentially take a shot at Wingish. Yeah, yellow flag for Thomas D. It's back at the bridge section. He is able to get back underway though, but does have front wing damage on that Haas.
Ogs has just made a pass on the fly, whilst his teammate owner getting a 3-second time penalty, whilst McLaren puts out a fastest lap time, and that is Thomas D in a wall with front wing damage, sadly for him.
Yeah, meanwhile the Ferrari have already added ERS. Of course, ERS much more difficult now, really, to regen, especially that much Sector 3 going to drain a fair bit more of that battery power. But of course, going to keep it really tight is Vasil. Again, getting really tight up to the back wing, just not finding the way past again.
That McLaren must really be faster in that straight line speed, but is able to stay within these corners sometimes, but just can't get close enough.
Yeah, we've seen over the past couple of races just how good Wingish is on exit, especially, and that seems to just on exit on traction seems to be where a decent chunk of Wingish's advantage at least comes from, and so especially around the corner like Singapore, where that's going to be something that you're really going to have to manage and keep, and that once again could very well be the difference as we reach just about the 1/3 of this race. Moikioli and Viperize swap places down that very new long straight. The Red Bull looking to fight back, but not quite going to have a move into that final corner.
Yeah, Vasil 4 tenths behind Wingish. This might be his closest challenge yet. I'm not 100% sure, but this is great chance for him as Wingish just gets so much speed, such a great exit out of turn 4 and just defends from that Red Bull so much better.
Yeah, that gap going up briefly until that Red Bull got up to speed with DRS. I think that gap out at about half a second. Yellow flag, that's for A. Williams, who's in the wall and out. Big impact there for Gurnham. And that's going to be our 4th retirement of this season. But yeah, big crash there from the Williams.
Yeah, I only just caught when his bodywork pieces were coming off. This helps Thomas D and kind of Wingish, but Vaser may want. Would he come into the pits and get a fresh set of tires?
I think a lot of that I think really depends on just on whether or not you think that another safety car could come, and if it does, just how quickly it does. I think having that fresh set of tires and being able to keep a solid click of pace could be a very good opportunity here, especially if you think you can take a set of mediums 21 laps. We'll have to see here what the decision is. The Red Bull is going to dive in. The Aston Martin of owner is going to follow. Oga's also will follow. So
and they go for another set of softs.
Yeah, softs from Oga's. Let's see. Yeah, soft seemingly from everybody. Viperize also diving into the pit lane. That would be your set of hearts. So first driver venturing out on the hearts is the Viperize. He's also getting a front wing change. JM also diving into the pits here.
And he is going to be going on to the hards as well. So he does get out ahead of Viperize.
So yeah, JM now up in the points. This will also allow Thomas D to to hustle around and try and get back with the pack. Of course, had that incident earlier, but of course we'll have a chance now. Should have a lap or two to try and catch up with the field. Of course, had some front wing damage that he needed to get fixed, and currently sits there in P12. I think definitely a surprise there, seeing a bunch of the soft tire runners pit. That Jill are currently sitting in 5th, and that Hast also didn't decide to pit. I think just potentially looking to make one more stop and trying to take track position at this point in the race. But I think we're likely seeing soft to medium or medium to soft for the entirety of the grid, with the exception of those hard tire runners from this on. Certainly be very surprising to see otherwise. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see just what happened. But of course, already for DNF, so rate of attrition already. Of course, Jojo almost with a great move under that first safety car, and I think everybody electing to stay out. Nobody still deciding to come in. So we should get one more lap under safety car and then get back underway. Still going to be waiting, but I guess just giving a quick look. Obviously, some of this is up to still change, but a couple of drivers with some really good races so far. Golden Jamie and Joan are currently up 9 spots from their starting positions. Of course, some of that is the benefit of some of the DNFs, as well as Basil owner and Ogue is all electing to pit. Only up 6 spots, is he currently sitting in P2. And we will get another week of the Wingish versus Oni show. We've seen that quite a lot over the past couple of races, but Wingish always coming out on top, with the exception of last week when neither had really had very good races, and it was owner Ogo's Jamie and JoJo all with really good races and taking the 4 positions. So we'll have to see if a driver like Golden Jamie right now can continue that pace, try and make up for his teammate. Of course, is now out of the race, and let's see
sitting in 4th, so McLaren already with a really nice day. We should be getting back underway shortly now, as I believe we should get safety car slot message in just a couple of seconds. As I don't think we will. I think it's just waiting for Thomas D to get caught up to the pack now.
I think we
It
should
should
get
happen
it now.
very shortly.
No.
Should be in the next couple of seconds here. I think it is going to be a little trigger. It's just going to depend on when Thomas D catches up to this field, and it is going to be now. So the McLaren of Winglish going to back the field right up as we look to get back underway as that Aston Martin safety car looks to dive into the pit lane, and we're actually going to get limited here as the McLaren goes too soon, and now we're going to get back underway. So Winglish pulling the trigger a little bit too early. Hopefully everybody continues. Okay, Basil with an immediate jump. He's going to try to jump up the order on those stops. He's going to try to go down the inside of Tommy XXC, and he is, I think, going to make that stick. Tommy XXC looking to fight it, but Basil with a big jump there to get up into P4. But yeah, a little bit, Winglish getting the limiter there as the safety car not enough into the pit lane. And so the pack very, very tight. But he was able to defend from Oni in turn 1.
Yeah, it was a very strategic move from him as Mike and Ona almost having a little bit of contact, but Ona making that move down the inside on the Ferrari as Basil now as well getting past Alpine for P3 now.
I was into the Singapore sling as well, or again the old Singapore sling there. So a really good move there from the Red Bull to really make use of those new soft tires. He is absolutely flat right now and is already under the back of Oni. Of course, he's going to really have to make the most of those new softs. Of course, already having that 3-second time penalty. We'll have to blast now down here into this final chicane next to the car in front. About 4/10. Odell up in the P8. He was able to get that move done on the Haas of Joner. And Tommy XXC and Glenn Janey battling through the final corner. And here comes Owner down the inside. And he's going to be able to take advantage of the Alpine there. He's going to look to get 2 for the price of 1. More Cooley as well. Able to get Glenn Janey and move up in the P62s right into that battle as well. Basil as well down at I believe turn 3. Able to get the inside of Oni. And is able to hold that lead into turn 4. And then can go chasing after the McLaren of Winglish.
Very much so, but can he make a move this time? As both Aston Martins make a move on 2 other people, so they're now up into 4th and 7th. Winglish still ahead, but how much longer can he hold off Basil for?
Still no DRS as we come into this tight bridge section, but Basil closing very quickly that gap down to under 4/10. And he's already broken that DRS gap back to Oni, and is right on the tail of Winglish. Let's see if he makes the move here. Of course, no DRS yet, so he is gonna hold back for the moment. Oga's and Moikuli. Apologies there. Yeah, Oga's getting Moikuli there. That's when back move there from one Aston Martin as the other tries to get the Ferrari.
Yeah, but I think there was almost contact between the 2 of them. DRS is now enabled. That gap is now 0.2 tenths of a second. So this might be his chance to make that move on Winglish for once, as Ona makes that move on Omni.
Here comes the battle for the lead. That gap currently sits at about 3/10. DRS going to be open on the Red Bull as we blast down into turn number 6. Yellow flag in sector 1. That's for far. It's going to bring out the safety car, and there was contact there between Winglish and Basil. And Basil actually going to lose multiple spots, and he's going to get front wing damage there. So the safety car comes out, and the Red Bull dropping and lead down the order. And I believe we'll probably see everybody now live in the pit lane.
I would presume so. They could probably go back onto another 7 mediums. Omnij missing a front wing, sadly for him. And that might be a little bit of a controversial incident with the two drivers there of Vazel and Wingish.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely go to review. Potentially, there's definitely decent contact there as Wingish to see take avoiding action and go really deep down there at turn number 6 in that main DRS straight. And that, of course, put Vazel well off. But that was also right as the safety car came out, so that potentially a little bit of locking of the brakes from the Red Bull. As Wingish actually stays out, as does Owner. We'll have to see, does anybody decide to dive in the pit lane? Tommy XXC faints like he will. The furthest out to dive in the pit lane is going to be Green
Vazel ain't coming in, even with that front wing damage. That's interesting to note, because he does have that front wing damage, so he's going to be that little bit slower. As Omnij is going onto the intermediate tyres.
So is there something here where the rain could come back? Of course, with it being night, we can't entirely tell. But is that a possibility where we'll be going to wet conditions?
I don't think so. We'll have to see what he does again this lap and see if he does come into the pit. But that's very interesting.
That could also potentially explain why Vazel and Wingish look to stay out. We could be seeing a race that started in intermediate conditions, has gone back to a dry track, and then could potentially return back in intermediate conditions. So that's going to be something very, very interesting to keep in mind.
5 minutes till rain, Viprize has said. So maybe Omnij is just waiting it out.
So that is very interesting.
But we do know this game, and this game can say 5 minutes until rain, and it takes another 20 minutes. So it could go in his favour, it could not.
Certainly is a very good possibility, but we could be seeing that rain come back in the next 2 to 3 laps. So the Aston Martins right now probably in the best position to really take advantage of this continuously changeable race. As with them being on new softs, they're going to be able to have a lot of grip, have those higher tire temperatures. So we'll just have to wait and see just how long this this track starts to get wet. As of course we'll have one more lap here under safety car.
So he hasn't come in, so he is waiting for his rain. But the only thing with this is he is ruining those intermediates as he's locked up into turn 1 massively. So this just ruins his tyres even more whilst that rain is slowly coming in.
Yeah, of course, being that his tires will be immediately up to temperature in those wet conditions, but the tire wear on those inters is going to be absolutely massive. Again, just due to that temperature. As the field of 12 now is all lined up behind the safety car, so we will get back underway on lap number 18. So how quickly will this rain come? As of course we have heard 5 minutes until rain. So that is gonna be about 2 or 3 laps. And especially with this being under safety car, it could be even faster. And of course we saw the track dry up very quickly, so it could at the same time get wet with the same amount of speed.
As Omnij just keeps locking up. I don't think now was the best time to put the intermediate tyres on. I think it was thinking that rain's coming in now and it's coming in quick. But he's just really locking up those tyres and just making them go up in tyre wear. The safety car is in this lap.
Wingish are going to be a little bit more careful with how with distance to that safety car now. Try and avoid a similar incident to what we saw on the final restart, but it is going to be 14 to go. And we get back underway with rain incoming. So we'll have to see just how long this can continue. As we'll have to see when Wingish lets to go. Will McLaren take off? He will take off now, so we're back underway to green flag conditions. It's the McLaren with a solid jump there. As here comes Tommy XXC as well, all owner, but not quite going to be close enough to try and put a move on into turn 1. As Goon Jamie as well, able to get vaporized and jump up into P9 is the only change immediately off of that restart. A little bit of a twitch there from the McLaren of Wingish as they make their way in through turn number 4. As the Aston Martin looking to keep it real tight with the McLaren here on lap number 18 as we go down into turn 6. A 3.5 tenth gap between the two drivers.
Yeah, this is going to get very close. Omnage as well. We're staying on the back end of Vipers, so those intermediate tyres are kind of working for him, but we'll keep an eye on him throughout the next couple of laps. Onar just trying to look for a move down just anywhere on Wingish as he wants to get ahead and away. So maybe when this rain does come out, he does have that gap ahead of him, but
They still look well. Seeming to manage that front wing damage decently well, as that gap with Monkuli out ahead, not growing by a lot. It's currently sitting at about 6 tenths and seems to be managing pretty nicely. But of course, here comes Owner. That gap at just about 2 tenths. Martin not quite going to be able to find a move there on the McLaren. As Oga's looking to go around the outside of Tommy XXC into the chicane, he is going to get that done for the moment. Now is a chance to try and really pull away from that McLaren. So, it's 2 Astons in the McLaren sandwich right now on lap number 19.
Owner still sticking right behind him as yellow flag in sector 1, and that is Omnage, who's lost his front wing somewhere on the track as he's gone off.
Yeah, I think that was down at the final corner, and then with another big lockup. So I think he pulled the trigger on those inters well too soon. As here comes Owner down the inside. There is going to be contact. Yeah, contact between the Aston and the McLaren. And here comes Ogas to take the lead.
And it's just started to rain as Wingish again making another spin almost. So we now have rain. We now have a new leader. Ogs.
And it's Ogus or Yegin, however you want to pronounce that name. I'll leave you to your own choice. That's Tommy XXC who went hard into the wall there at the bridge. Doesn't seem to be any damage onto that McLaren, but at least looked like he went fairly hard into the wall.
Oh, and
it looks like DRS isn't enabled Oni into the wall.
Safety car?
Isn't that going to bring out the safety car? Not yet, as I think just because of where the field is, I think the safety car might not be coming out. Down to 11 cars. We'll have to see, is the trigger pulled here as Tommy XXC still defending from Owner. And that's going to allow Ogas to make a bit of a breakaway. Both McLaren's in, the Ferrari muy coolly in, as DRS is enabled, so DRS is still active on track, but a number of drivers looking to dive into the pit lanes for intermediate.
So everybody is coming in other than the top 4, so this could get very interesting as rain.
JM and Viperize is also looking to stay out.
So that's
JM and Viperize.
5 on intermediates, 6 of them on slicks. Who's going to be the quicker drivers?
Yeah, of course. Going to be both Astons leading the way on softs. It's currently Tommy leading the way on inters. Of course, got about 1.6 back to Muy Cool, and then about 6 seconds back to his teammate Wingish, who seemed to be really, really dominant in these mixed conditions in the past. We'll have to see if that McLaren can show his continued dominance and actually try to catch and pass his teammate.
That gap to leader is currently 28.4 seconds. It is going up by a few tenths here and there, but currently now
that track continuing to look more and more slick though, as looks
as that racing line continually looks to be more and more wet, is jumping on board with the leader of Oga's. Yeah, that can slip very, very quickly, especially in some of these. Yeah, especially in some of these non-covered sections. As here comes the second group. Here comes the leaders. Olga's diving in. This is his teammate. Jay is in.
Is it the wall?
Jonah is going to follow. Who's in the wall?
Hagen just hit the wall
Oga's.
on the pit entry. Jay elects to stay out, but this is really going to hurt
DRS
Aston
disabled. As DRS does get disabled, does this mean who's going to retain the lead of this race, at least on inters? It's going to be Oga's for the moment. Where is Tommy XXC? He's coming out of the final corner now. So here comes Tommy XXC and Mike Cooley through the final couple of corners now. Whereas Oga's going to come out.
He's done it.
He's going to come out behind them. So Tommy XXC gets the undercut. Is now your new on-track leader. And of course, Oga's going to have to take some time to get those tires up to mature. He's going to be under threat from Mike Cooley. But of course, DRS now disabled here at Singapore.
That hit on that pit entry wall has really hurt Jagan, because he should have been in the lead, but he just had that one slip, and
of course that hurts his teammate even more, as that little delay getting into the pit lane meant that owner's stop took even longer. He's now down at 8th. He's behind Jonah. And about 3 seconds back now of Wingish, who's already showing a lot of pace. As that gap to Green Jamie has tightened up very quickly. It's down to 1.7 seconds.
Tommy might be playing
I think JM
huge team game here. Just gonna say, because he might back up everybody else, because that gap is coming down from to Wingish. So.
And of course, it is going to still be very, very difficult to overtake. But now we've got really 6 cars in this train now in the battle for the lead. And JM, who is the on-track leader, is going to dive into the pit lane and get off those hards. Just going 1 lap too long on those. He's going to have to slow right down. He lost, I think, about 8 seconds that lap. And probably even more now that he has to dive into the pits.
Would be like something like that, but now here they come. They're all in the same picture there. Gap isn't really going anywhere. Tommy still in the lead, but Jaeger not able to make an impression on Tommy.
That's 3-second time penalty. 3-second time penalty. Yeah, you really can't go too far to the left in the run down the turn 4. Here comes Oga's with DRS advantage. He's going to look around the outside to turn 6. He's got that nose ahead and is going to be later on the brakes and is going to take the lead here with just under 10 laps left to go as Oga's once again takes back over the race even after that mistake going into the pit lane.
Yeah, Wingish is also now 3 attempts behind of Jamie, and Wingish is really going to need to pick something out of some way to even get back in the lead. I don't think that may be possible, but you never know here.
And of course, Jamie's going to do everything he can to make it as hard as possible for Wingish, as he's going to look to try and keep this constructors fight alive. As we saw last weekend, McLaren looking very vulnerable. I believe that lead currently sits at about 35 points. Between the 2 teams. But yeah, Green Jamie is going to be, I would assume going to be really defensive against this McLaren behind him to try and maximize points and keep his team in it.
Very much so. As
I'm to see. I think Tom takes the wall a little bit, and I think got a really cool run out of there, and it is going to, I think, bang the wheels there with Mike Cooley, who is going to move up into P2, able to get that move done at the final corner. So Tommy XXC down into the 3rd now.
He really hasn't had the greatest restart here this time around, and he's just losing places here and there. Now, Jamie is going to be all over the back end of Tommy. Maybe because Tommy just locked Jamie a little bit more, making him slower for Wingish to just slide right past.
that might be a play here is just try to keep it tight and see if he can kind of just drive it, a clean line here and try and force the Alpine into a mistake. Very tight right now as we run down turn number 9, I believe, turn number 9 or 10, and as the comment's still very tight between the two. Windish, I think, looking to make a move there into turn number 11, but not quite being able to find a way past.
Yeah, this is going to be a very big play from McLaren as Tommy goes so deep into that corner.
Yellow flag, that's Viper Eyes actually, and that's going to bring out the safety car.
He's done it again.
So Viper Eyes down there at turn 9 again. Ryan is going to go deep. There is front wing damage on that Red Bull, but here on lap 23, that's going to once again tighten the pack up. But it is going to be Ogre leading the way. But this is going to allow Moy Cooley to tighten up and have a chance. Tanya to succeed. Jamie, Wingish is back in it. Owner and Vazel are now also going to be right up on the back of Wingish. On getting another chance, and Oga's actually going to dive into the pit lane, so potential front wing damage to be fixed. Moy Cooley going to dive into the pit lane, and that's going to give Tommy XXC the lead once again.
He hasn't pitted for a front wing. He's just changed tires. Very odd decision from him there, but yeah,
that's certainly odd. So that's a very weird decision. As as Tommy and Wingish all staying out, Viper Eyes is going to retire from the race after that. So down to now 10, but only 3 drivers electing. I believe only 3 drivers electing to stay there. Actually, no, 4 drivers electing to stay out. Tommy XC stayed out, as did Gwyn Jamie and Wingish. Thomas D, the only driver electing to stay out on those inters. So are these new intermediates going to be that much of a difference that drivers electing to pit and think it's going to be the right decision?
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see. There's not going to be many laps at the end. I mean, fresher tyres might be the best, but right here in this track, you cannot overtake and very, very easily, and it's been proven by that. By a few drivers here, but in the rain, it's going to be even worse. As Thomas D out under safety car. That's it. That's once again. That's in the same place where Viper Eyes crashed. Viper Eyes said he did a George Russell, and Thomas D doing a George Russell as well, apparently.
So 2 drivers now out. That leaves us with 9. So I think we're going to probably still have another lap under safety car still to go as JM tries to get around the field and caught up to the safety car. But yeah, down to 9 drivers now. So very high attrition here in these nighttime streets of Singapore as the rain continues to fall. Doesn't seem to be getting too much heavier. There's not really a lot of standing water out on the track. But again, it does leave us with only 9 drivers remaining, as it will be one more lap under the safety car. So of course, Jonah looking to come up to the tail of the field now. Yeah, of course, we'll have to wait and see how this race continues. Of course, we will have another stream tomorrow with Group 2 action, which should certainly be interesting, especially if we get more changeable conditions, and hopefully we can still keep it clean and see a decent chunk of racing action. So definitely be sure to tune into that as well. Definitely hit that subscribe and like button down below if you haven't already. As we're getting back underway with 6 laps to go on lap number 26. 26. Yeah, as it will be 6 laps to go next time we cross the line. That should be us getting back underway.
We would hope so. Tommy has a penalty, so this could play into Jamie's hands and Wingish. So
yeah, this of course means that Jamie doesn't necessarily have to overtake Tommy, as he's with a big rear lock and switch there for the Alpine, as I think we saw maybe, or as potentially I saw what happened maybe to both Viperize and Thomas. As you know, brake migration is really something that you have to consider here around Singapore, as you know, especially in these changeable conditions, since you can't really mess with the brake pressure under parc fermé conditions. You've really got to dial in where that brake bias has to be. A safety car in this lap, yeah, you really have to turn that brake bias more forward, especially in these trickier conditions, to try and keep that car stable and keep that rear end where you want it to. But should be getting back underway here on lap 26, and it's a new McLaren leading the safety car restart.
Yeah, that rain's still coming down heavy as we get ready to go again. As we wait for Tommy to just dart it, but when does he go? Does he go now? He goes now.
Here it is. So getting back underway here on lap 26, and that's a decent jump from Tommy XC, but Jamie still right on him. Owner as well with a 3-second time penalty. That's another penalty there. Glenn Jamie, ducking out of the toe of Tommy XC real quick, trying to just see the corner a little bit better, and he's right on the tail of that McLaren.
She's not having a great exit out through these few corners. He's going to have to get these tyres back up to temperature, but Jamie closer to Tommy. He's going to go down for the inside.
Going to deploy all of that battery. Tommy, they're defending nicely. A little bit of conflict between the two drivers, but Tommy XC able to hold on as he defended down the inside of turn 6 and still holds on to the lead of this race. And look at how tight that pack is behind.
Oh, the Ferrari driver's gone.
As a Ferrari going to Roy Cooley with, I think, a big lockup there, potentially with a car 2 is inside, is going to drop right down the order. I think he's had... Oh no, I think he might have had pedal issues again as he's trying to get the car back underway.
It seemed like he was an actual F1 driver, just could not find that reverse gear. Again, Tommy goes deep.
It looks like his pedal might be stuck again. We saw this last week with Moikuli, where his pedal did get stuck. And that's what led to his crash last weekend. I know I called that out as a potentially intentional incident. But yeah, I think Moikuli potentially with the same issue with his pedals just bugging out on him. He just had continuous throttle input. He's really struggling, so he'll just try to limp this way home. But it is Tommy XT still able to defend for another lap as that rain continues to fall and looks to be getting even heavier.
Yeah, it seems to be getting heavier from Wingish is on board as everybody's still very close together, and I think this is the closest people have been for a very long time. As Jamie again trying to look for a move.
8 drivers all really in it with a shot. Tommy XC, another 3-second time penalty. And here comes Jamie once again. Is he going to look to get the move done here? No, he's going to hold back. And I think he's really trying to defend. He's just going to hold behind Tommy XC with 4 to go. Tommy, though, going to go deep. Is that going to give Jamie a shot? He's going to look around the outside, but he's going to hold on. Here comes Winch, though, down the inside. His teammate into the wall. Tommy's off and in the wall. Winch and Jamie now side by side for the lead. The McLaren going to try to go around the outside. The Alpine, though, able to defend and is able to retain the lead. And Oga's now up in a P2. That's Wingish round with potential contact there with the Aston. And now it's going to turn into Gloon Jamie versus Yegan for the lead.
I don't know what happens to Wingish there, but Wingish is now retired.
As Wingish retired, so he's out. I think that he may still be in a good enough to result in points. Oga's went down the inside of Jamie at the bridge. Owner attacked. So I think just trying to make a lunge there out of what would be the DRS section. And so now it's quickly turning into an Aston Martin 1-3, and it's going to be Oga's versus Vazel potentially for the win. And Oga's, of course, without time penalties as of right now.
Yeah, this is looking like Jonah could well be on for a podium. Tommy just... don't know what happened to Tommy.
Tommy as well now in the wall. Just deepen into the wall. I think it's just, at this point, what seems to be getting close to full wet conditions wouldn't be shocked if we're on a crossover point now with 4 laps left to go.
Would not surprise me at all, because that rain is coming down like it is a heavy storm right now, but
So yeah, 2 seconds now the gap between Oguz and Vasil. Taking a quick look at penalties, it's 3 seconds for Ozil, it's 6 for Owner, so that would put him all the way down into P5 at the moment. As Tommy XXC gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, he's actually going to retire. Again, I think he did get far enough into the race to still earn points for McLaren. They'll definitely give that a look. But yeah, he is going to retire from the race, so that's more than half the field DNF. So yeah, let's see how this continues. So now it's really 6 drivers still in it. There's more Cooley back there in 7th.
yeah, this could be a podium place for the Haas driver here, or would it still be Vasil getting the podium?
I think it's very tight. As of right now, it would still be Vasil taking up that last step on the podium. Actually, no, it would be, I mean, it really depends on just how close that gap is between, if Jonah can close up that gap to Vasil to 3 seconds, he'll have a chance. But of course, we'll have to wait and see as we start lap number 29 now. As Vasil gets another 3-second time penalty, so that adds another wrinkle into things.
So right now, Jamie is ahead of Owner. Jonah is ahead of Owner, so that's...
That's yellow flag for the Ferrari back there at the bridge, so everybody continuing on. So I'm actually going to switch to the leader because that'll be even more accurate. But currently it's Groom, Jamie, and Jonah taking up the last 2 podium places on track as they currently sit 4th and 5th. But are close enough to Vasil and Owner to be able to take those positions back. And of course, are going to keep battling for it. And of course, Jay looking to hope that those 2 potentially come together as they continue the race here.
Yeah, this might get very, very close to the end. I think Vasil will need a few, like 1 or 2 more seconds to make sure he is still on that podium as Moix retires from the race. So we have 6 drivers left.
Glenn Jamie round. Glenn Jamie made a mistake. Glenn Jamie's around on the bridge, and so that's going to drop him right down the order. He's actually facing the wrong way at the bridge section, and so he's trying to get that Alpine turned around so that way he can make sure he at least finishes the race and get some points for Alpine.
That reminded me of that gif of, I don't know where it's from. I think you would know what I'm talking about.
I don't know if you cut out there for me, but you might have. I'm entirely sure. Of course, this is big for both Vasil and Owner. Currently, they're in a position where they can hold on to their own podium positions.
I think they
depending
are.
on how much pace.
This is
Yeah,
now
just
6.9.
depending on how much pace Jonah can find. As I think Jonah with a bit of a mistake there, and I think got a little bit loose. I don't think any damage on that hat. Yeah, no damage on the hat, but he's, I think now about 7 or 8 seconds back of Owner, but is going to keep pushing to try and finish on the podium. Of course, it is Oga's now with a rather comfortable lead. So, about 1.3 seconds on track to the car behind. And this, of course, will be, is looking to be back-to-back wins for the Aston Martin team. Of course, it was his teammate of Owner who won last weekend out at Abu Dhabi, and he currently sits 3rd. So this has been a great showing for Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship. As a little bit of had a couple of late season additions here. And of course, Oga's coming around to start the final lap of this race.
Yeah, crazy race it has been, with only 6 people remaining. But right now, Jonah still may get on the podium if Basil or Owner make a small mistake and just lose quite a lot of time. They could still get onto that podium position, but
Of course, JM going to be looking to maybe make a move for pride there. Of course, he currently sits in P5, but making his way through turn number 4 now. With the both Aston Martins and the Red Bull, seeming to keep it nice and composed as they blast down into turn number 6 for the final time. And of course, keeping it calm and composed there. Been definitely an eventful race that we've seen. Of course, starting on immediate conditions. So, seeing a wet to dry to wet race is the first time I've seen this in quite a while, at least maybe ever specifically, for a 50% race. And of course, we're at almost wet conditions right now, so definitely congratulations to all our drivers who've managed to make their way to the end. It's definitely a very challenging circuit, and even more challenging conditions to just find that right position. Of course, a bunch of drivers adapting on the fly, but a couple of other drivers just making those little mistakes, but able to keep it together. Just 3 corners to go now for Yegin to end this race. Can he keep it together for just a little bit longer? Here it comes through the final two corners now. Just 1 corner left to go. So he just has to keep that underneath him for a little bit longer. And it is going to be Ogus Yegin for Aston Martin winning the Singapore Grand Prix. It's going to be Vasil coming home to finish P2. Owner comes home to finish in third. So Aston Martin 1 and 3, so great for them. Jonas is coming home to finish first. JM is going to finish in 5th, and Gwyn Jamie is going to round out the finishers with 6. And of course, he's still coming through the bridge now. Is on wet tires, so that shows you just how challenging the circuit has gotten. Of course, he's making his way back through, just trying to finish out this race. Still just working to finish, so of course we'll hold on him to make his way around the order. But congrats to Ogas managing to find his way through with these conditions and win the Singapore Grand Prix.
Very much. I'm expecting to see a few incidents in the stewards part of the Discord, maybe, or anything like that. But very good win to Ogres and a good win for Aston Martin overall. Sad for McLaren and everybody else who had retired.
Owner, by the way, will hold on to that third. It's going to show as a DNF. It is going to drop down the order, but it is going to hold on to it. Let's see who does get that Driver of the Day award. Of course, that will be going to the Haas of Jonah. Of course, coming home to finish P4, and that's a great showing for the Haas outfit, and specifically for him. As Haas also, in a decent spot, trying to chase down Williams for constructors, with just 3 rounds now, I believe, left to go in the season. So still plenty of racing left to come. Of course, Bahrain, Mexico, and Brazil still to come, so definitely stay tuned. But it is Ogas from Basel and then Owner as your top 3. That will be fixed in the standings. I will fix some of that because the top 10 will all be getting points because it does appear that Thomas D made it far enough in the race to earn points. So some of those points that you see on the right-hand side of your screen will be corrected. But of course, there is your order for this race. James, I don't know if there's anything you want to say to sign off?
No, it was a very good and very chaotic race. Well done to the drivers who did finish, and well done to Ogres.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. Once again, congratulations to Ogres and everybody who finished that race. Whether it's, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, and if not, we'll see you next weekend in Bahrain for another round of Group 1 action. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time.